Here are 5 things that SketchTube will never do in order to protect the animators using the platform. SketchTube is a social media network that I'm currently developing. You can see a little sneak peek of it right there. And it's basically for animators to post animations. That's as simple as it is. It's like a YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, but just for the animation community. And it was inspired by Flipnote Studio, which is an app on the DSi that I used when I was a kid. Today I wanted to talk about some of the morals that kind of go along with SketchTube and the gist behind it, and say some things that I'm personally not going to be introducing onto the platform and that will never go there. And then I'll create a follow-up video saying 5 things that SketchTube will do next week. So if you are interested in becoming a beta tester and testing out SketchTube, which is currently happening right now, it's happening in rounds, I'll explain it more at the end of the video, but there'll be a link below for you to become a beta tester. On with the 5 things that SketchTube will never do. Starting off strong with number 1, SketchTube will never allow AI content on the platform. So if you've already seen some of the videos on this channel, you can see that I am personally against the morality of AI, especially generative AI that's used to steal art from artists in order to regurgitate it and without consent or without payment towards the original artist create a work that is similar in their style. We really want to create SketchTube as a place where people don't want to engage with AI content. AI has infiltrated every single area of our lives, it seems. Just this past week, the Domo AI bot has scared the artists all over Discord, because now that we know that there are some AI generative tools that will be used to play around with the images on Discord. With Instagram and TikTok and Pinterest even, all of these tools where artists share their animations being flooded with AI creators also creating art, and it's taking up the same amount of space. We desperately need spaces where there is no AI on these platforms to ensure that we are safe. We are just seeing each other's work and we are being appreciated in a community with people with the same values. In the same type of vibe as the last point, number 2 is that we will never be allowing the animations to be fed to the LLMs. What that means, the large language model. So the animations that are posted on SketchTube will never be used in order to feed AI bots or AI generative tools. So like ChatGPT, Midjourney, DALL-E Mini, whatever, all of the tools will not be able to access and be fed by SketchTube's animations. I've been looking into how to do that on the back end and on how to block AI access onto these platforms, but there are definitely a lot of ways that we can go about doing that to ensure that SketchTube is a place where you know when you post something, you are posting that and you own that. No one else is ever going to be able to steal that and feed it to an AI bot and be like, okay, I'm gonna like do it in their style, in this person's style. Like, that is your style. And I think that it's really just awful what's been happening recently with where you ask AI bots, draw this in this person's style, because you are quite literally taking that person's art. And right now, obviously we know that AI generative images are a lot better than AI animations, but it's just a matter of time until AI animations are also to that same level. So it's important that what we can do as artists to protect ourselves is just not to post on platforms that take our art and associate it with our names, so that we can say like, make an animation in this person's style. That's really scary to be able to say that, and then that, you know, your style can be used by an AI bot to replicate it. So if we can minimize the chances of that happening, which is what I'm trying to do with SketchTube, that's honestly ideal for artists in my opinion. The third thing that SketchTube will never do is try to keep you on the app as long as possible. I think that we've all experienced that slowly but surely with Instagram and TikTok, where at first it's like you're kind of on it and you're able to get off of it and you're able to like have an outside life and not be doom scrolling, because it used to not be as invasive and addictive as it is today, because the algorithm used to be chronological and there weren't reels. As time went on, people realized, the people developing these applications realized that if they have eyes on their platform for as long as possible, then they can make more money because they have more advertisements and they can like continually advertise to these people, and it's just people on their app for longer makes them more money. So they make it highly addictive. My opinion on this, especially for an app like SketchTube, which is for artists, is there's a certain point where consuming is not just about collecting information and inspiration anymore, and it's just destructive. And I feel like it would be super counterintuitive to create a highly addictive animation app, because what you're doing is you're basically taking all these animators, getting them addicted by having like tailored algorithms that create a highly addictive and highly like replayable type of environment, And then basically you're like, okay, I'm gonna take all of your creative energy, so you can't spend it on making more animations and becoming inspired and bettering your craft. And instead, you're gonna be using your energy on just consuming and consuming and consuming and consuming. Then, at a certain point, if you're just consuming forever, you're not gonna become a better animator because you're just gonna be spending all of your energy on consuming. So I think that this has been really negatively affecting a lot of creatives because we are naturally very sensitive people, and sensitive people also get addicted easily because they see things and they engage with it strongly. Basically, how this is going to be not addictive is that the feeds are not going to be tailored to you specifically. The feeds are going to be, so far what we have is we have a following feed, so it's who you follow in the chronological order that they followed it. Most recent for the entire platform, so you can just see most recently what's been posted, and then most liked that week is currently what I kind of have. By like after 7 days it gets out of the most liked, so you can see the most liked and that, and then you can also filter by tags, but it's never going to be tailored to you specifically as a user, because I find that that is a really slippery slope when it comes to maintaining creativity and a good relationship with the platform. Because right now I think we're all being so burnt out with these other platforms, we're just like, I don't even want to look at it anymore. I feel like it stole my time without my consent. I never ever ever want to create a platform that feels like that. The fourth thing that SketchTube will never do is prioritize influencers over artists, because on SketchTube everyone is on equal footing and no one gets an advantage just because they have more followers. It's basically up to the people who consume the content and who watch the animations to decide whether they want to like it, whether they want to sort it in their folders, which is a cool thing that I just did yesterday. You have folders and they're colored. And it's up to you guys to decide whether an animation gets to be seen or not. No one gets an advantage. So I think that this is really important, because then beginner animators aren't discouraged just because they're beginners, and they're not discouraged just because they're not at that same level yet, because they know that they're still going to be encouraged. And the feeling that overall I want to have on this community is that we're supporting each other, and there's not like a hierarchy where certain people are better than other people just because they've had more years of animation practice. No one's better than anyone here. Like, we're friends and we're all interested in the same craft, and we're like all equal. Like, that's like, I just long for a community that feels like that. And the very last thing, the fifth thing that SketchTube will never do, is force you into trends. And this is a little bit of a tricky one, because I know for some people they like to have that structure of a trend, because they like that, okay, this is the template, let's see how I can go creative about that. And to that I offer a weekly theme, which is going to be one of the feeds actually. And so it's currently something that we're doing on the Discord, where every single week there's a theme and then people post animations, and every Sunday we have a voice call where we watch all the animations and we're just kind of getting inspired and talking about what has been inspiring us recently. But there is going to be no strict like template for how you want to structure your animations. I mean, you can if you want to, but the thing that I find happens with that is kind of what happened with the animation meme community here on YouTube, which is where they become a very narrow amount of what's popular, and everyone tries to copy that same artist and that same trend, to the point where the moment you do something a little bit different, it just feels so wide. It feels like a different genre entirely, and it kind of alienates creative expression, and it makes people feel like if they're not trendy, if they're not following the current trend, then their art isn't as valuable to be seen. So I really want to encourage having creativity under constraints of like a weekly theme is cool, because it's like a word, so it's like taking a walk down the park is this week's theme, or like pet or like special effects or something like that. Those are like broad topics that you can animate whatever you want, but I don't like it when it's just the same template and you just insert your character here and it's the same template. I mean, if that's a learning tool, that's another thing, but it becomes a problem when it limits people's creative bandwidth and their ability to feel comfortable experimenting. And that is something that I really want to prioritize with SketchTube, having people be able to go in any direction that they want, except NSFW. That is one thing that I'm going to leave to Newgrounds. So if you reached into this part of the video, then you're interested potentially in beta testing SketchTube. So here's a little rundown about how it goes. I plan on releasing SketchTube in the next like 4 months, 5 months, like in fall. I'm not giving it an exact release date because everything changes so fast. But basically I'm doing beta testing, and how it happens is it happens in waves. So every month I have a set amount of people that I allow into SketchTube because it's hosted privately, and I allow people to come onto SketchTube and create a profile, one profile per person for the moment, and then they can test out all the features as I'm developing them. Every day on Discord I'm like chatting with them very closely because I need to be closely in contact with them if they have any bugs or if they like features, if they don't like features. It's important that I know right away so I can fix it as soon as possible. And I have beta testing in waves. So I like to do them, I think every month I have a new wave of beta testers. So if you want to sign up for that, I have a Patreon link down below. The next wave of beta testing is starting on Monday. So in 3 days from when I'm posting this video, Monday, May 26th. And it's currently, I believe there's like 9 spots left. So if you want that, if you want to be a beta tester, make sure to grab that quickly. But then I'll open up the third beta testing a month after that, and I'll put like a date for when that will be available on the Patreon. It's just moving really quickly, and it's moving fast, and it's really fun. It's really, really fun, the community that's currently testing, because everyone's created accounts and they're posting animations and they're testing the features as I'm doing them, and they're like commenting on each other's animations, and it's just, it feels like Flipnote Studio. Like it feels like Flipnote Atena. Like it feels like that original vibe if you had a DSi, where it's very not complicated. The way the algorithm works, it's really not complicated to communicate. It just feels real. It just feels authentic. Low-key like MySpace vibes, but not exactly. The UI is very basic right now. This is just functional UI. It's going to be optimized throughout time, but everything like works pretty much. So if you want to also see the in-depth details on all of the features that I've currently developed, you can also see that on the Patreon. I want to thank you so much for watching till the end of the video. If you want to support SketchTube, you can join the Discord server down below and become part of this community, amazing community of animators. Like I swear to God, the amount of creativity and talent in the Discord server is mind-boggling, you guys, mind-boggling. So if you want to join that community, please join the link down below. I also have a Ko-Fi that I opened up to help fund SketchTube. It's very expensive to run social media and all of this, all of the things going back and forth, so your support in any way, even your comments as well, but financial support is also really cool. But up to you, obviously no pressure. And also I have an email newsletter that you can sign up for, which is sketchtube.com, the placeholder right now, where you can just enter your email. And that's about it. Stay tuned for next week when I'll create the 5 things that SketchTube will do in order to support animators and create this amazing community. And until then, keep on drawing, keep on animating, and I'll see you in the comment section. Bye guys, have a good week.